Good morning, planet Earth. It is Saturday, June 14th, 2025. It is, for America, Flag Day. It is the 250th birthday of the American military. And it's protest day, people. It is finally here. The No Kings Protest Day nationwide. And guess what? There are several European countries. Sorry, I woke up before my alarm. There are several European countries also protesting as a No King's Day because, well, yes, Donald Doofus Trump has not only affected negatively America, but the entire freaking planet. Thanks, Donald. So, not only has he pissed off Americans so badly that we're all protesting again, but parts of Europe are going to be all aflutter today as well. So, to those countries, thank you for the solidarity. Thank you for the unity. Thank you for standing up with us. We know this asshole is negatively affecting every planet, every part of this planet. And, well, today is our chance to tell you F you, Donald Trump, and F all your assholes who follow your words as if they were holy text. They're more like demonic text, what he follows. I just want to say real quick, because I myself have to get ready for the protest I will be attending. Um, if you want to go to a protest, but you've never been to a protest, and or you've never been able to find somebody to go with, I I have because, well, I don't have a vehicle because of my foot injuries, and I don't feel safe enough to drive per se. So for the last one in April, I just went to my groups and just said to the New Jersey one, and it was 50501 New Jersey, and I just kind of for several days after I couldn't find anybody. I asked, you know, politely for the April 5th one, and nobody responded. So I'm like, when the April 19th one was set, I'm like, oh hell no. I'm just, yeah, sometimes you have to be bold and get out of that. Because even though I might seem extroverted, there's a lot of introvert in me as well. And I was just like, I don't want to be a nag. I don't want to be like a Karen. It's like, somebody pick me up. That's the last way to get somebody to go, gee, they might be nice to drive with. Um, but I kept asking every day. I'm like, guys, and I made posts myself, not just responding. I'm like, anybody in this area, a Park or wherever. I don't care where you take, what protests we go to. And two gals actually, but the one gal, she couldn't go to that one. But the other one was like, yeah, so we went. And that's who's taking me today. I'm not going to name names just because. They may not like it, even a first name. But, so she's taking me. I just got to get my shit together. Well, most of my stuff is already packed. The signs and my megaphone and my flags. So, oh, I gotta remember tape. Um, but yeah, I was reading this morning, waiting for my pain meds to kick in. Um, and I fed the cats, and I sat down just to peruse to see if there's any updates, changes to anything. And I see two different people. One of them wants to go to the protest that me and my protest buddy are going to. My protest buddy driver. um, so I would suggest if you do drive and you can go, you just don't want to go alone. Well, if you're in the Morristown one in Jersey, look for my hair. You can hang with us. But let me just allay your concerns, your anxiety. Once you're there, everybody protesting feels the same way you do. It's not as uncomfortable as you would think, and especially when the time for it to actually start, because there's milling about, but and when you hear the first like horn honk or something, because last time we were by a street, you're like, oh, 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 somebody wants to be here too. They're approving, and suddenly when you start looking at everybody's signs, like at the beginning, and you start seeing some signs, you're like, oh, that's a good sign. Or you laugh at another, you're like, yeah, true. Because sometimes you can do a zinger, but with humor, and they get the point, you know? Um, you see somebody with a really good sign, it's like, oh, that's a great sign. I'm gonna use that. I'm gonna make one like that, endear yourself a little bit. I mean, if that's, don't be false about it, but yeah, you you won't feel that isolated, even if you go to a protest alone, because these are people. 99% of them, except for the occasional dissenter that likes to get in there. Um, but for the most part, if they're holding a sign, they're there for the same reasons you are. And that itself makes you neighbors, right? Um, if you're hesitant, go. You can always leave early if you just can't, but try. Try, because you might surprise yourself. You might surprise yourself. You might, Spider, I didn't smush him. You might get there and realize, ooh, it's kind of fun. This is nice to be around other people that I don't know, but I feel secure because they're pissed off about the same shit I am. So, my suggestion, if you are just nervous about being, I don't want to say alone, but going solo, how about that? Don't worry. Oh, and if you're in the Morristown, New Jersey one and you need a sign, I'm bringing all the signs I painted, even the No King ones, even the ones that aren't No Kings, rather. Um, so if you're in the Morristown protest today and you need a sign, you can borrow one of mine. Um, just hang there and use one of my signs. Um, hey, we're all fighting for the same thing, right? Why not help each other along that path instead of saying, come on, hurry up? Maybe they didn't have time for a good sign. If you didn't have time for a good sign, you know what? Or to make a sign, and that's why you're like, oh, I don't want to go to a protest. I don't have a sign. You know, it's not just a sign at a protest. You're you're a person. It's a body there. They still hear you showing up, even if you don't have a sign. It doesn't have to be a fabulous sign. If you're making a last minute decision, like, damn it, I'm gonna try. If you get there and you get a panic attack before you park, you could always drive by and honk for them. You know what I'm saying? Try. You might surprise yourself, and once you're there, you realize this doesn't feel so bad. My anxiety hasn't gotten worse. Wait, maybe I built it up in my head. Because, I live with just the two cats, so I get sometimes going solo is just, because, oh my God, shut up. Um, so, if you're able to get to a protest today, but you're not, eh, about going, go. Because you might surprise yourself. My little hands, I put them on dowels and I painted them. They're my little But yes, try to like make it less of a scary thing. It was a little nervy for me, but I was more excited. So even if you don't have a sign, get out there because your mouth can be your sign. You didn't have time to make a sign. What would you have put on the sign? Well, then yell that. I saw a good phrase that I want to make a sign um, for the future. It said, immigration built this nation. And underneath it, I'm going to put, draw scales and write in big, huge red letters, due process. Um, oh, on the other side, I saw this and it made me laugh. If you know Mexican cuisine and such, if you know what a horchata is, it's a rice drink with cinnamon. It tastes like liquid rice pudding, the cold kind. It's good. It really is good. And I saw the phrase, and I know that came out of like L.A. or Arizona or something, because it said, "I drink my," and you really horchata's a lot of ice. It's just like one of those drinks that I don't like ice cold drinks, but horchata I have ice in it. Says, "I drink my horchatas warm because fuck ice." That I loved it. If you know, like I said, with horchata, and horchata is one of those things that you really, it's 100% better when it's icy, cold, not room temperature. It's good then too, but ice really sets off the cinnamon rice flavor, and I love, I love that. It makes it sound at first like a real man. I drink my horchatas warm because fuck ice. And immigration built this nation, and that is fact. So, my peeps, my little fellow weirdos, if you have the time and the transportation today to get to a protest and you wanted to, but you're anxious, you got nobody to go with, get in your car and go. Because if you drive there and you see the people that are assembling, it's not so hard. And if you go early, so you're there before the whole crowds get there, that's another thing. You're more comfortable. First of all, when you're one of the first people there, you can talk to the organizers. Usually the people that are where you enter. Like if it's through a park, you're usually coming in one way or something. Those are usually the people at the entrance. They're handing out any kind of flyers or any kind of like rules of the area, like no noise. Like sometimes you can't use a megaphone because of restrictions, or the permit doesn't include the sound. Sometimes you can. Just talk to the organizers. Just ask. I'll have lanyard IDs on usually. I've seen that with the hands off and with 50501 and with Indivisible. Um, just tell them, listen, this is my first protest. I'm not a super extrovert, and I'm really anxious because I came alone. There was nobody to come with. I'll bet you they come check on you. They'll help. They'll make you feel less anxious. I've never talked to one that wasn't willing to help out. Somebody was like, "Are you allowed?" Yeah. You're fine. You can yell out. Sure. You don't have to just use it because some protests are silent, like they just hold the signs. You know, ask. And if you get there and you're looking around and it's feeling kind of worse, just just hang out or in the car maybe. Just watch. But I'm telling you, if you get there early, it doesn't feel as suffocating with so many people if you have problems with like crowds and stuff. Um, I know people that have been assaulted have problems sometimes. I had a difficulty after my rape for at least a decade that I didn't like large gatherings that people I didn't know because what if I saw him? You know? Um, express that to the organizers. Let them know. I mean, just in general, just let them know. I'm really anxious. I'm almost ready to leave. They'll, most of them understand and they're just happy and proud of you that you got your butt there. It doesn't matter if you're standing there saying, I'm really nervous about this. I don't have anybody that I know. They're going to be like, well, you know what? You got your rear end out here. And for that, Raspy's under my chair. So try to pet him. And they'll be telling you, most, just everyone I know would tell you, you got your courage up and you got in your car and you drove here. Dude, awesome. You just gotta stay now. That's it. That's it. Just gotta stay. You did all the other stuff. And like I said, getting there earlier and not like towards like the actual time. If it starts at 11, don't get there at quarter to 11 if you're that stressed out. If you're able to, get there earlier when it's nearly empty. Because if it gradually gets fuller, it doesn't, at least for me, it doesn't seem to be as stressful as walking in on a place that's already full of people. You're like, I just want to get a spot. You know what I mean? That is a little, I don't want to say trick, but where's my raspy? Anyway, good luck. I do need to get going. I gotta hop into the shower. Good luck, and if you go to a protest, let me know. Even if you see this later, I want to know how many of my peeps were energized enough to or able to go to a protest and be part of the movement. So, peace out. I'm proud of you. And I might see some of you there. If you're going to the Morristown one and you see this thing, this hair right here, this whole thing, come say hi. Peace out, guys. Good luck. Be safe. And I want to see you all here this evening. Nobody in jail. Okay? Peaceful. There's nothing wrong if police or if you're in a place where maybe they bring in the guard, somebody or something. just reminding them, remember, you take an oath to the Constitution, to the country, and to the people, your neighbors, your friends. You don't take an oath to one person, to one party, or to who is currently the president. Your oath in the military to the cops was not to the chief. It was not to your lieutenant, your major, your colonel, or to the president of the United States. Your oath, in fact, the presidents and Congresses all swear to uphold the Constitution and to protect the country and the citizens of said country. Nowhere does it say you hold allegiance to the current president. I swear. No, none of them say that. None of them. And there is nothing wrong with, if there is a show of force, if you have a chance and they're just standing there, just kindly don't scream at them. Somebody did that. I think it was, who was it? Aaron Fisher. Well, over there with the guard, they were just standing there because they weren't doing anything, and the protesters were on the other side, and there was kind of like just like oh, and Aaron took a chance. He spoke with force, but he spoke calmly, and he told them, "Remember, guys, remember, people." And he was talking to the guard. He told, look it up. He was the long-haired guy that was telling them, walking back and forth, just saying, listen, people, remember who your oath is to. It is not to the president. And these orders that he's doing is illegal. He did not do it properly through the governor or the mayor. And Congress needs to be the ones to say, yes, we need to do such. You can't have a president just making those decisions on his own whenever he wants to, willy-nilly. He wants to have a bigger penis that day, and so he wants to show what a big tough guy he is. I'm going to bring the military in. Please. You look like a weak ass, not like an alpha. Trust me on that. Oh, I'm so big and tough, I'll get my buddies to beat you up, is basically what it's saying. Ooh, you're so scary. You're going to get your daddy to beat up my daddy? Ooh. Just remind them, if you have that chance, that's a de-escalation. Telling them, look around you. We're your neighbors. We're maybe your friend's neighbors. Maybe your guard buddy. Maybe he lives here. Maybe some of us are your family. You took an oath to the Constitution, to the country, to us, to protect us, not attack us. If all we're doing is protesting, we're not, overturning vehicles, and that didn't happen till after the guard were made to be the pawn between the citizens that Donnie didn't like. Don't let that scare you. Don't. Because as you see, most of them that were anybody so far that was like detained as a protester, a couple hours, and you're set free. Because they know what you did wasn't illegal. So if that's what you're worried about, or you're worried about, which is most of what people are worried about for protest, or as somebody said, a Jacko MAGA will come bugging us. When you get to your protest, just wherever you settle in, just talk. Just say, so have you been to protests before? It's my first. Tell them. If it's not their first, they'll be there. They'll be there. Trust me, I would. I'd be like, oh, I've been to a couple, so it's not so bad. It's a little at first, but it's like, I'm being the daring, courageous one. I'm going to be one of the first. Be some of the ones that are up on top of this. Because I guarantee you tonight you might be tired. At least it's not all sunny. You might get rain on. Last time I had sunburn actually just for 2 hours. I didn't even realize it wasn't even that hot, you know. But if you go tonight when you're looking at all the videos, you might find yourself on one. I did. I did. Rachel Maddow, she was doing those grids of 9 protests at a time, and they had the name, where it was, and I saw West Caldwell, New Jersey. I'm like, ah, ah, ah. And I went back and I slowed because I was like, where was this video? Which angle? Which side of the street was it? Somebody in a car took it, like a passenger. We had a lot of people honking and stuff, and so it went fat, you know. But I'm like, oh my god, that's me. It went zoom, but I could see because it's the walker, and I was looking for the blue hair back in April. And I was like, I was part of history. I was part of toppling this fascist Fourth Reich. And especially if you had a lot of anxiety or you're an introvert or an introvert extrovert, I have to say, at least I was so proud of myself and surprised. And you couldn't tell. I couldn't even recognize my face, but I saw me sitting in the walker in my green and yellow and white and black pants that I was wearing. And I was just, it had nothing to do with, nobody knew who I was, but it was more of, yep, there's proof. I did it. I was there. Because I can be introverted at times, like I was saying. There's times that I'm just like, oh God, I don't know anybody. Put your big boy or big girl pants on once you get there, and ask your people around you. You've been to one? I haven't. What are they like? They'll soothe your discomfort, and just talking to them. Protest buddy. Hey, see you next one. All right, if it's in here, I'll see you there. That's what happened with the last one. It was like, ooh. And there were several people that had gone to the Morristown one before, but they didn't have it in Morristown on the 19th. They had it in West Caldwell, but yeah. Like Montclair College and Morristown didn't have, because they were by different organizers. Maybe they weren't able to get that space or whatever, but just talk to the people there. Just tell them, I'm really anxious. I've never done this. They'll help you. Go. Just go. Just do it. I know it feels surreal, and you're carrying your stuff and you're walking over and you're like, I can't be doing this. I am not going to be at a protest, am I? But just keep walking. Just keep walking to it. Before you know it, it'll be in full swing, and you'll be yelling, I'm moving away, and you'll be yelling, hell no, Donald Trump has got to go! You'll get caught up in it, and you'll find something, or when human rights are under attack, stand up, fight back. Good one. And once you yell out, it's like, ooh, I can get all my frustration and anger out by just protect the Constitution. Hands off the Constitution. Anything democratic, freedoms. Just yell, let freedom ring. Let freedom ring. Just something. It doesn't have to be fancy or memorized. Just short snippets. Protect democracy. Support the Constitution. No queens or no kings. Queens okay. Just anything positive and clearly a clear message and belt that puppy out. Trust me, it's like a purging of all that negativity that's just in you because you're hearing about shit they're doing to people, shit they're gonna do to you, you know? And just to be out there, being able to yell, and everybody else is yelling the same shit. It's a solidarity. It's you don't feel alone anymore. After after it gets into swing, and the first time something like pops out of your mouth, you're like, that felt good. I said that. I'm gonna say it again. That's right. It it helps bring your boat to an even keel when you're feeling just powerless. Yelling for 2 hours is powerful. So my suggestion, if you're super anxious and you've never gone to one, just do it. Just do it. You'll find you'll find buddies there. You might see a neighbor. You might see a coworker there. Things change when they realize you're just as passionate about empathy and equalities as they are. So, I'm telling you, just do it. Remember, for protesting to actually affect the government enough to make that change, we need 3.5% of the voting population to be out there. Last time we have over 5 million throughout the country protesting, still wasn't 3.5%. So if you're anxious or concerned about going to a protest, especially if you're alone, do it. We need 3.5% of the people. And if you go to one, you'll be way more eager to go to the next one. So with that, I need to go. I need to love up on Raspy. And I'll see you at the protest, or I'll see you in the videos tonight. Good luck. Just talk to the universe. It's like, guys, keep me close right now because I'm scared. But even with a shaking voice, speak up. Even when your hands are shaking, read that fucking speech you wrote. The more you do it, the stronger you feel. Trust me on that. Because I'm not little Miss Extrovert all the time. I have those anxiety attacks sometimes. Just fucking go. Because you will be proud of yourself and you will be like, God, I have more courage than I thought. You do. You just don't know it. You'd be surprised what you can force yourself to do when you have a lot of strong emotion behind it. So I'm getting teary eyed. I just want you guys to understand it's not as scary. And you feel so proud of yourself that you mastered or defied those anxieties. And you're fine. You're fine. You might make new friends. You'll see them in the activist groups. Yeah. So definitely, guys, if you're thinking about going to a protest, just do it. And if you don't have a sign, it's okay. We need your body there. We need your voice there. The signs are just your voice in written form. You could still use your actual voice at a protest. Bring an American flag. It's Flag Day. Bring an American flag so you have something in your hand and just protect the Constitution on Flag Day. Peace out, guys. See you out there, or see you in the videos tonight, and I will get on here. I might live stream there. I might do a short live stream. We'll see how much my phone can take. Actually, it'd be better because it wouldn't take up, a storage space. Peace out, guys. Good luck. Have fun. And get your frustrations out peacefully. Nobody says how loud you can yell. You want to open it up and get rid of some of that anxiety. I'm going to pull away. Protect the Constitution! Support democracy! Who needs a damn sign? Peace out, be safe, have fun, take pictures.